Well, listen, I've had to eat a lot of crap over the course of my career. The media has had to eat a lot of crap, and I've never been a hater, and I've never been one who felt like I needed to elevate myself off other people's backs. Yeah, people like to say I'm an instigator. I still maintain that's not true. Like, just because I ask people questions about their career that isn't me kissing their ass or bowing down to them doesn't mean I'm an instigator. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to stir the pot. I mean, I just feel like, hey, you got a chance to talk to someone, you might as well ask them the most relevant questions. And sometimes those questions are going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Like, I'll be honest, I don't really feel like talking about Brendan Schaub right now, but you asked me a question, and so I'm going to answer it. And that's,
and I appreciate you. I do.
Yeah.
And honestly, I knew that wasn't going to be, but I'd be remiss if I didn't.
No, listen, you got to do your job. The point is, I feel like people who try to, get over by putting other people down, when they make it personal, when they look, as I said a million times now, you want to talk about me being a bad journalist, a bad host, a bad interviewer, I'm a bad writer. That's fine. And not everyone's going to like you. But when you start talking about personal things, jobs, how you are behind the scenes, working with other people, things like that, and when you don't know, it really aggravates me. And it's not just about me, it's like about other people as well. And so I just kind of felt like enough was enough. And, I hear a lot of people talking about the media and, you haven't fought and you haven't done this and you guys are hacks and all this. And it's like, man, MMA media gets so much crap. Meanwhile, we're the only ones out there shining a spotlight. And I'm not saying we're perfect, but hey, the dudes who cover the White House, not all of them ran for president. And the guys who are movie critics, not all of them made movies, right? And the guys who are restaurant critics, not all of them own restaurants. In fact, the majority of them didn't own restaurants. Just because, you didn't walk into a cage and fight, it doesn't mean that you can't speak about fighting. And I would also say, with regarding to myself, when have I ever been the guy to break down fights like analytically, right? Like X's and O's wise. Like, I've never been that guy. I'm the guy who asks questions and talks about personalities and storylines and upbringings and journeys and why you should do this and that. Like, I'm not the guy who's going to sit there on a Monday and be like, well, let me tell you about how Alex Volkanovski got out of that choke. That's not me. It's never been me. I've never pretended to be that.
And there's some people that do that fantastic. Some people absolutely do that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dan Hardy is one of my favorite doing that.
Absolutely. Those guys are great. And they are the ones that you should listen to because they have done it. But I have a degree from Syracuse University that says I could be a broadcast journalist. And it didn't say when they handed me that degree, they didn't say, well, you can only talk about this. You can only talk about that. So this idea 15 years into my career that people are questioning whether or not I could talk about this is like, have we gone back in time? Is this some sort of bizarre world? And I would say that about someone who's done it 15 years and someone who's done it 1 year, a kid coming up, like, all media should be accepted. All media should be included because let me tell you, I just came from the mainstream and they don't know anything about MMA and they don't love MMA. I mean, obviously there's pockets of people, but we're the ones shining a light on Paddy Pimblett and then everyone finds out about him. And we're the ones talking about him when he's in Cage Warriors and all that. So I don't know. I think this is all nonsense. And I guess I just got tired of taking the high road all the time. People don't realize I could be just as petty as everyone else. And so you're now seeing Petty Wani. That's who I am.
I love it. And, there we go. Petty Wani.
Petty Wani. There's a lot of monikers. Petty Wani, Thug Nose, Heel Wani. I mean, we could go on and on. Can I just say one thing? And before I just want to be clear that, I have never correct me, if you feel otherwise.
Yeah.
Let's say we're talking about Fighter and the Kid or anyone else. I've never been the one to throw the first stone. Now I'm talking about fighters and this guy should do this and this about their career. But in terms of media, I actually hate media beefs. Like when I see it from other people, I think it's a bad look. And so I know there are people who like those guys and I know there are people who don't and all that. I have never partaked in any of that. I don't. I feel like there's room for all of us. There's room for you, me, that guy, the dude I don't like, the other. There's room for all of us in here. We all have different styles, and that's why there are different restaurants with different menus. And not everyone's going to be everyone's cup of tea. And so I will respond. I'm not looking for fights. That's the Heel Wani thing isn't about that. It's just about
it's fun. Yeah, that's
it's about defending yourself. It's about defending yourself. And that's that. So
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
No.
Yeah, I wish them the best, and I'm not trying to ruin anyone's career or life or anything like that, but I'm just not gonna, eat shit anymore.
Oh, I mean, and as well, you should stand up for yourself and everybody else. That's
Absolutely.
really one of those things. None of us should sit here and just be a walking pad for anyone.